It's Madden NFL 23, and we'll see Jameis Winston. You can't ask for much more than his last game, a 5-touchdown effort. It's the Saints and the Vikings, and it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 23.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And CD, you look at the Saints in this matchup. It's a relatively balanced offense. The next-gen stats kind of bear that out. What do you think they'll be looking to do in this one?
I think it'll be exactly what you just talked about. They'll want to be balanced on offense, which means to them, they'll want everyone involved. See if they can get some one-on-ones in the passing game, maybe identify some situation where they can swing the ball to the backs in space, even find some spots where they just want to play some old-fashioned power football. As one of the most successful coaches in the league told us once, the definition of balanced offense, that means you can do what you want, when you want to, not necessarily just running it 50% of the time and throwing it the same percentage.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Vikings offense coming out for the first time, and in his 5th season leading this crew, coming off his 3rd career Pro Bowl nod, Kirk Cousins.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game, so he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
They'll start on the ground here with Nwangu. 5 yards on the game's first play, 2nd down. Well, still very early in the season, obviously, CD, but already key injuries that they've had to deal with.
And what's really difficult for a team is to try and maintain their focus when they feel like they've been a little bit snake bitten. It feels like every time they turn around, another injury crops up. How do they manage to hang together, get guys to play a little bit above their heads, and make sure that they're still afloat when their starters make it back?
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll go right back to the Nwangu. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. So this game here in London, the first of 5 games in the NFL International Series for 2022. We'll see the Giants and Packers here next week. Broncos and Jags at Wembley at the end of the month. The Seahawks and the Bucs, that'll be in November in Munich, Germany. First time a game's been held there. And then we wrap up down in Mexico City, November 21st. Cardinals and Niners from Estadio Azteca. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. On 3rd down, Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a 4th down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Now here come the Saints about to begin their first possession. And the man in charge of this offense, his 8th season now in the NFL, former #1 pick, Jameis Winston.
And he's been playing at an elite level here in this early half of the season. Tops in the league in touchdown passes at this point. This is definitely a wide-open offense, so we'll see if he can keep his string of good games going right here.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Out of his end zone, Winston finding Taysom Hill complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Throwing again on second down. Winston toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
It's a nice zone breaker right there. Take the tight end, move him out to the slot, then have him run a corner route versus the zone coverage, which means he's going to be behind the shallow coverage and ahead of the deep coverage. Put the ball right on him.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
Running the jet sweep, Landry. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The heavy set out there, 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. Here's Kamara, trying to run for it. And some room to work. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 47 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ballgame. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down. Not only do they pick up the first, but they got a lot of extra yardage with it.
And I saw a defense that was absolutely out of sync. They didn't expect that play call at all. And it allowed the offense to actually get great blocking angles against them and allowed the back to just rumble and rumble and rumble. And as you said, tacked on big yardage at the end.
They'll try to throw now. Winston. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to get the football back at their own 17. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing, maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Cousins. That's complete to Chandler on the check down. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Tall task ahead of them here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you come in off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Saints, they'll have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. The Saints with a football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Again, it's Kamara. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. The Saints at 3-0 here in the month of September. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Winston. He gets it to Thomas. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
All-Pro receiver Michael Thomas missed all of 2021 while recovering from an ankle injury, but we'll never forget that he set an NFL record in 2019 with 145 catches. When healthy, borderline unguardable, just like he was on that play.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Here we go now on 1st and goal. Nothing doing there, and they're going to wind up holding him at the 2. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. Fakes a spike. Dancing to his left. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. The kick by Lutz is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. 2 fantastic games coming up to wrap up Week 4, the first weekend in October. Tonight, the Chiefs and Buccaneers from Tampa. That's a rematch of Super Bowl 55, of course. And then Monday night, rematch of last year's NFC Championship game. The Rams and Niners from Santa Clara. Coverage on that one, 8:15 Eastern. Off the play fake, Cousins. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada. After the sack on 1st down, Cousins. And he is going to be taken down. They got him. As that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. David Onyemata in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. We remind you in just a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to a 1st down.
He stiff arms him. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
To throw again on 2nd down. Winston. That pass complete to Deontay Hardy. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Winston. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, it's Winston. Over the middle, into the hands of Michael Thomas. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, where it was the visiting Dolphins who come away victorious on the road. Cedric Wilson leading the way with 3 touchdown catches. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. With that, we take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Vikings. And this tells the story right here. As a unit, negative yards passing through 2 quarters of play. That is something you almost never see. Meanwhile, for the Saints, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the 2nd half. In a game where 1 field goal is all these offenses could muster in the first 2 quarters, you figure both coaching staffs were needing to make plenty of adjustments. And for the call of the 2nd half, we send it back out to Brandon Gott.
Yes, indeed, Coach. Thanks. Hey, we could use a touchdown. 3-0 as we welcome you back in. Well, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. So here are the Saints to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Jameis now on 1st down. The slant complete to Michael Thomas. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. On 1st and 10, Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. Andrew Booth puts it off. And the Vikings are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. First play's a run with the Wandu. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Another run now for Nwangu. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. Cousins. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Oh, this is off the side of his foot. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Out on the field comes New Orleans. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. On play action, Winston. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they called Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. forced out to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. There's a Darius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground. So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. A drive that time of 6 plays, and the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Smith. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Cousins going to bat it forward here on the jet sweep. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Cousins to throw it. And the Saints pressure gets it. Brought down for a sack. David Onyemata able to record his 5th sack of the season. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. On the return, Hardy shreds him with a stiff arm. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in London. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. Winston now to throw on 1st down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Chandon Sullivan. And the Vikings are right back in this football game. So the ball changing hands on the interception. But meanwhile here, we do have an injury on the play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Following the interception, Cousins. He'll buy some time right, and that'll be incomplete.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. Cousins. And that is incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they throw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
Personal foul. Defense.
Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the fourth quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage.
We all know it's an intense game and things can get heated out there. That's part.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Janaris Robinson from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though. And they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. On third down, Winston. Touchdown, Saints. Michael Thomas with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead. Lutz good on the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's Michael Thomas who ends it with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Take it in at the 3. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Cousins. And he's taken down here by the Saints. That's the former Buckeye Pete Werner getting the sack. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. Complete. Jefferson the target. No gain at all on the play there. That brings up 4. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. On 2nd and 7, Winston. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Trying to get away, but couldn't do it. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Jameis to throw it. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Cousins. He finds his man. Complete. That's Chandler. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. 3rd and long for Cousins. But it's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And this one is incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw, Cousins. They'll set up the screen for the Wongu. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee. 2nd and 11 at the 41. Winston to give. It's Kamara. Oh, he's got some breathing room. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They're looking to throw this. Winston. And he's got it. Touchdown. Michael Thomas with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. Lutz with the extra point. And the lead is now 24. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's Michael Thomas who ends it with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be fielded inside the 5. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Cousins on 1st down. He's going to let it fly. And a high throw there as this is knocked away down to the ground and incomplete. So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.